Hey, what's up, fam? I'm Chappell, host of the Recap Kickback podcast, here for the exit interviews of Deal or No Deal Island Season 2. With me, my amazing co-host Jenny Autumn, and the most recently eliminated contestant from Deal or No Deal Island Season 2, Philip Solomon. Philip, welcome.
How are you?
I'm good. We have been waiting to talk to you, so we have so many things to talk about.
So
There was
many
a point
things
we thought
out
it would
here.
be at the end too. Like there
Yeah.
was so
Yes.
We're almost there. I'm just out here staying black, blessed, and problematic. Let's do it.
Well, let's talk about the
problematic.
let's get into the problematic parts. Last night, we saw you eliminated on the spot by David. Can you take us through the moment at the challenge when you decided to drop and your perspective of David taking you out of the game shortly after?
Cool. All right. So I have some really good perspective actually for you guys to just kind of help phrase it all out. You're
Okay.
not seeing it on the edit, but David and I are close. We talk every morning for like an hour. What you saw on the episode yesterday was us every single morning. We talk like at length, and it's never about the game. It's about like the real world. He has a wife at home with some medical things. He's putting four kids through college, like what, like it's like some big, heavy stuff. And so in
Mhm.
turn, me and him are so tight. So when he said in the last episode, I probably trust Philip the most. With the edit, as a viewer, you must have been like, why? Do you two even know each other? But like I promise you, we were so tight. But with that said, we had a discussion that morning where he was like, we can't let a reality, ironically enough, we can't let a reality show winner win another like season. We got to make sure we like get her out. And I'm like, I'm with you, bro. And so then with that, when we went into the challenge that afternoon, I have to really look at it as a very black or white, the numbers. Let's talk about probability per se. And you guys and every podcaster and every viewer along the way is like, you gave up $10 million. I'm like, okay, wait, stop. Here's the thing. I have to look at it as an adult that has been diagnosed with both ADHD, OCD in adulthood. So I am kind of trying to navigate this game as a neurodivergent adult, but also like really being like, okay, let's run the numbers. I have a 1 in 5 chance to get the opportunity to play for $10 million. They were writing me a check. If they were writing me a $10 million check, I would have waited till my arms fell off my body, but that wasn't an option. And so in turn, you still have to remember that the last person there has to play the game, win the game, and then select that 10. They have to have that briefcase out of all, let's say 24. So the odds are, or you could take 75K now and based on the relationships that you made, hope that you stay in the game. I mean, if you really look at it like that, I didn't give up $10 million per se.
No?
I
Good
mean,
points.
I'm not judging taking the money. That's a lot of money, as we've said. What I'm curious about though, Philip, so when it's down to you and David, it seems like you're negotiating. Was it truly just an agreement that David gets the power, you get the money, or was there a situation where you could have possibly gotten both and dropped at a case that also put you into safety and power?
So when it looks in the edit very much like David gave it to me, David did not. I held on my own for 6 minutes after he let go because I was waiting for a case in between. So from a viewer perspective, because I was like, okay, I understand what everyone is saying, but like as you're watching it happen, I've had my hands, my arms over my head for an hour, holding a lot of weight. I have literally, like, my shoulders are sore, like I was at a 2000s, like, Naughty by Nature concert. I was like giving it, like everything hurts. I want to go home. And at that point, you guys are seeing the numbers of who has what on the bottom of the screen. We don't see that. And
Mm-mm.
so, again, remember ADHD, OCD, it's 90 degrees. I've been holding that for an hour. I am not running the numbers. If you think I'm like, okay, if he did that and happened, then if he does that, I
Oh,
can
I
do
get
it.
that.
Don't let your arms fall. Like, hold it, hold it,
Yeah.
hold it. And so I did. And the thing is, I watched kind of the three of you guys like piece it together. together as far as like how I would have won and gotten the money. I love the three of you with my whole heart, but if it took the three of you to be like, oh yeah, that would have happened if he did that. mm, I was not in that headspace then. I just wasn't. I was like, I'm sweating. I need to go home. Everything hurts. Like that just was not the headspace. And also, I was so in the zone in holding it all up. I forgot all the numbers that were in it. And they were so
Mhm.
close. Or it was like 1.25, 1.75, 1. And I was like, I'm just going to hold on till it's something higher than that one. And eventually my arms just said, sir, you're not. And I was like, oh, cool. And that's when I went down.
Philip,
Look,
I can barely keep it straight half the time, and we see the numbers on the screen.
we have notes.
So no
Yeah,
judgment from this ADHD queen here.
listen, it goes in the family, y'all. We have
Yeah,
nothing but good things to say about you in that position because I'm not keeping my
exactly.
arms up that long in the first place. Philip, I do want to get your opinion about one specific quote. You ready?
Yep, let's do
Okay.
it.
Don't pretend if you go low, I'm gonna go higher. Because if you go low, I'm gonna take it underground. So underground that Harriet Tubman will show up in the middle of the night and tell you to run. Sir, thoughts?
Here's the thing. The mo like
Epic.
I was like, oh my Lord, what an unhinged man. And then Black Twitter said, yes. And I said, you know what? Okay. Okay. We're doing great, everybody. And the thing is, like, that was not planned. That was not rehearsed. And like you could even see from everyone there, they haven't seen that from me yet. And I was like, the thing is, you have to remember that, like, especially for people of color, although we try to play it pretty laid back, I will lean forward and snatch you within an inch of your life if you make me. So like there's just no need to bring it there. And like this very ultimately led to one of my proudest moments on the show, which like I can give y'all an exclusive. It does not air. It is one of my proudest moments of the show. I think the show really gave me the opportunity to be able to voice my opinion and speak up for myself. There was a situation after a challenge where your friends, AK, you can have her. I don't think I can claim, but your friend said out loud, you know what, guys? I don't even think Philip is that whore after all. What, so Letty said, what do you mean, like poor? That's like a big thing to say about someone. And it got back to me. And so you know me that I was like, we have to have a conversation. And so I said, did you say that I'm not as poor as you thought I was? And she said, well, I just figured because you were and stopped, and I lost my mind. I lost my mind, and my head spun all the way around. And then I educated her on what a microaggression is and why it's so dangerous to throw that kind of rhetoric, especially as one person of color to another in 2024. And she looked at me so angry that I took that moment to give her information and said, well, if you really need money that bad, you can ask me after the show. And so then I said, I need you to get away from me. And about a few minutes later, she returned to me, offered me an apology, and I remember it word for word, and it said the following. So Lachelle let me know that what I said might have been offensive, and so I do want to apologize. And my response was the following. Here's what I do know. If you needed another person of color to co-sign on how offended I was, you're not someone that I need to interact with ever again. And those were the last words I ever said to that woman. And here's why it is the one of my proudest moments on the show, because after that moment, cast, crew, production members of color, of every color of the rainbow, walked up to me and said, thank you so much for doing what you did, because that was a hard conversation to have, and you handled it with education and grace. And so for me, I am so proud in the idea that I got to leave this game being able to do things like that, because day one, Philip could not do what I did on that day.
All right.
That well, that shines a light on the importance of representation on cast and crew, right? So I'm
Hmm.
glad to hear that you had interactions with crew after that as well.
It
So
meant the world, yeah.
yeah. Um, n- Just curious though, because at this point in the game, at the final five here, it really seems that there is two pairs, and then you and Letty, and then obviously David and Parvati, and then CK is in the middle. And I did notice though that even the interactions, the three of you with Letty and CK, I was curious about how that played into your plans because even when CK would talk, she said, I pledged to the United States of Letty, but you were also sitting there. So it was confusing to me, like what the role of this three would even be. So did you have any actual intentions of going further in the game with CK? What was your end game situation like that? How did that look for you?
Well, number one, I don't mess with that lady. And number two, I think that it becomes a matter of here's what you also have to remember. Letty and I are not stupid. And so we would literally watch her go between and we're all outdoors. There's no walls. So like what you're seeing, we're also seeing. Like we see it and she would leave a room and we'd be like, hands in, high five. And she'd walk out and we'd be like, absolutely not. She does like there's no way that she's actually doing it. And she lived with Parvati still. So we knew what was actually happening, but I think we all had plans to bring CK to the final because here's what you guys don't necessarily realize, but if you go back and rewind it, you can watch it. She's wearing a knee brace. She can barely walk. I actually helped her walk to the last temple because she twirled her way down to hell after falling off the beam. And so because she was injured, we were all like, yo, it doesn't actually matter. Like we saw how physical the finale was in season one. And so not only is she a smaller person, but no one really trusts her. And also she's on one leg. So like, we're like, okay, I guess bring her along.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Can we talk about the challenges a little bit? Let's talk about these
Let's do
excursions,
it.
Philip. Now, I've been very proud of you all season. You have a fear of heights, a fear of water, and to some extent, iguanas. Talk us through it, okay? Tell us about the excursions. What were the high moments? What are the low moments? And tell us about the iguanas.
I got two things on this. Number one, iguanas. The warning we got before going into the pit of iguanas. The word for word was, we tested these iguanas to make sure that they're clean. But if you get a scratch or a bite, we're going to have to evacuate you and give you medical attention. What?
Oh my.
If you tell us, and then they're like, okay, have fun. And I was like,
Go first, Philip.
right. I was like, excuse me, what? And they were like, who should go first? And CK's like, well, I'll go. I was like, have at it, lady. But like, also like, yeah. And like, it was one of those where like, I didn't want to go at the end because you want to know the only thing worse than regular iguanas, pissed off iguanas. And so, okay, that's not happening. But I do have Chappell, you and I have an issue and we're going to talk about it right now. I was like, okay, I'm going to bring the receipts. You said when reviewing this episode that David's real threat in the challenges is Letty and not so much me. And I thought to myself, okay, number one, ouch. Number two, but like, I was like, let me go back and run the numbers. Excursion number one, my case was technically higher. Excursion number two, banker's bonus was me. Excursion number three, she had the highest one, but only because I went before her and took the banker's bonus because I wasn't sure what was going to go along with it. Excursion number four, her hammock. Nope, excursion number four. Yep, that was hammocks. Her hammock, if you go back and look at the numbers, she had a 4 million like as an option through luck of the draw. Our highest was only 3.3. So no matter what, I could not that. And the rings, she had the highest. Who pulled it? So like I'm just trying to say we're a little bit more evenly matched than
Drag
you like,
me.
Okay, I'm just saying that like, okay, but in your defense, the edit makes me look like I'm crazy. So there's that. In your head, you're like, oh, he can't do nothing. Okay, that's fair. So like that's fair. But if you just like run the numbers, that's fair.
I just assumed the banker was going to have some iguanas waiting for you at the end, and we were just going to see maybe you didn't. You know, I was just the equalizer there. Okay, that's all.
I need to. Sorry, I was gonna say, how much do you feel, because obviously like Letty is also very strong and the two of you working together, like that's a powerhouse. Do you, there were a lot of situations where Letty was safe or Letty was in power. Do you feel like that was help to your game in that she was making herself a bigger target, but did it also potentially kind of cause some problems because if she's not available to be eliminated in so many of these situations, you become, the next best thing if people are trying to get to her. Like, how did you feel about her target level?
So my strategy in the game was, regardless of what I look like, I am not an athletic person. I've never played a sport in my whole life. And so I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to excel at the actual physical excursions. And I was like, okay, what do you do well? You bring positivity, you bring optimism, and you build relationships really well. So I think this is the component of, let's say, something like a Big Brother or a Survivor that enough people don't discuss. I had no issue with Letty winning over and over again because you see very much like you guys and everyone else of being like, Philip's not a threat. Letty's the real threat. If you run the numbers, my track record is technically better than hers. But you guys are not the only ones to think that. David and Harvey think the exact same thing. So, like, I'm good as far as I'm concerned. As long as I have made those relationships, I'm fine.
No, makes total sense. Philip, we
Yeah.
got to wrap up, but could you tell everybody where to find you, what you're working on, and where we can find you in the future?
Ooh, find me wherever you want. Let's see. On Instagram, TikTok, social media, you can hit me up at P Solomon 12, P all O's, SOLOMON number 12, because I'm born in December. I say that because all the comments on the Harriet Tubman video were like, he's a tourist, like no matter what. It's just all these older black women claiming me for their astrology side. Like, that energy, Aries. And I'm like, what's happening here? So I am born on New Year's Eve, just in case anyone needs to know, December 31st.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you.
Capricorn's winning energy, so just so you know.
Yeah.
It's extra every day extra.
Thank you so much, Philip. This has been amazing. Okay.
You
Yeah,
guys have
thank you,
been
Philip.
absolutely amazing all season, I swear.
All
You
right. Thank
too.
you. It's been great having you. All
Thank
right,
you.
everyone. That was Philip, the most recently eliminated contestant from Deal or No Deal Islands in season 2. To keep up with more of our coverage of Deal or No Deal Island, please remember to subscribe to We Know Dondi podcast feed and for weekly episodes and more on WeKnowDondi.com. Peace.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.